It is a tradition at the end of the year, the calendar year, the last Sunday for us here at Virginia Beach Christian Church Disciples of Christ to gather and to break bread, to feast in a informal worship service. We return to the fellowship hall, in some ways returning to our roots. We can't gather and break bread in the same way. We can't feast together in the same way. And that seems to be something else about this year that we are dealing with. But we can feast on other things. We can, in this chaordic worship series, return to the text that has been grounding and guiding us our whole way, that has been the lens through which all else is being received. The 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures. They lead me beside still waters. They restore my soul. God leads me in right paths for their name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. That text has been our grounding. And now we move into Matthew's gospel. The Christ child has been born. Merry Christmas. The Magi, seeing a star, a couple planets bright in the sky, a gift. They are inspired, and they act upon the inspiration. They move, they travel, they meet Herod the king. They upset him a little bit. And then they go and they find the child. They worship, they pay homage, they offer the gifts that they would to someone of importance in the ancient world. And here the story picks up in the 12th verse. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. Now after they had left, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Get up. Take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night and went to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." We feast in our own unique way. In this unique season, we feast. It is Christmas. It is Christmas. I hope that the lights are still up because it is Christmas. Even though the calendar year is winding down, the church year is just amping up. We are still celebrating this nativity, this advent, this bursting forth. The Magi, these outsiders who notice something, seek something, they show up. They come and they spend time with Joseph and Mary, with the family. Remember the days when we get together and spend time? When strangers were welcomed? When we didn't check temperatures for you to come into the room? Then the story gets shifted, right? Our chaotic wilderness life is a shifting. We are moved from the expectations of this season, and by golly, it is tiring to constantly have our expectations shifted, but they are shifted again. The Christmas story becomes a refugee story. The Christmas story, the good news, the gifts that we enjoy giving so much, and I like receiving them too. It becomes a story of fleeing, of fear, of the power structure lashing out in an attempt to maintain its power and its authority. And it is a time when, by golly, we were looking forward to being in the space. Safely, as safe as we can, being together. And now we are scattered again into our own wildernesses. And despite the best of technology, all of the opportunities that have been given to us, and we have been given so many opportunities to take the good things that we are doing and build upon them, to be open and vulnerable, flexible to the new good things that are coming our way, or to rediscover previous good things that we had laid aside at some point in time, though we do not remember how, why, or when. All of that has been scattered again into diaspora. And so you are sitting at a table, my guests, my friends, this family of Christ. We are at a table that is made up of a myriad of tables. And there is glass and electrons that seem to separate us. We are scattered. The family flees to Egypt. So much deep scriptural connection there. Egypt, Moses, the Exodus, the exile. So much deep scriptural connection. The isolation that we feel when we are scattered. And even though we can communicate, text, email, call, video call, whatever it may be, there is something about being in the space. And in this year where it seems the trends of life have been accelerated because of all that has gone on, in this year when we are at its close, taking stock of what we have said goodbye to. In this chaotic wilderness, we feel separated, perhaps all the more. It seems that despite the best efforts of technology, there's only so much connection we can make. If only there were things, tangible things, not a phone or a tablet or TV screen that is smart in some way, shape, or form, but things that we can have that is evidence of the world beyond our provincial enclosure, our seclusion, our scattered sequestering. If only there was evidence of a world beyond us in this season. Wishing you joy this Christmas. A card. May you know peace, joy, and hope in this Christmas time. Card. Coming to us from the wilderness to where we are in the wilderness. In our diaspora, exile, exodus wanderings. As we are being transformed, as we are waiting, as we are actively in this moment being guided by God. A wilderness Christmas card to help ground us again. Something we can hold on to. Something we can feel. This one has a fuzzy texture on it. Sending happy festive wishes your way for the most wonderful Christmas. Wishing you all a very happy Christmas and a healthy new year. Joseph and the family got word that it was time to go, and word that it was time to come back together. Word that God was moving in their lives. We have received word as well. We might not have recognized it in the dream or in the card or in that feeling when it came, but we are receiving word. We are encountering a Christ child, an anointed one, a promised leader, we have been preparing, and we are preparing in this moment and all the moments that have brought us to us for what will come and what is here. And in the moments when we feel like we are so isolated from each other that we cannot even gather to have a feast at the end of this calendar year, a card comes in from the wilderness. A note of the world beyond us. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best. Be well, be safe. A note that comes in that we can hold on to. Something tangible. That explores in its own small way the glory of God with us. Us who maybe literally or figuratively are refugees. Literally or figuratively have been cast out from the places where we desire to be. Literally or figuratively, we have received cards, notes from God in this wilderness. May they continue to bring us hope and peace, joy and love. May they continue to be a tangible, a light. May they guide us until the time that we come back together again, whenever, wherever, and however that may be. Merry Christmas, dear friends. And may all the best of this season be ours to have and to share. Thanks be to God, and amen.